Rozanne, take over now. I'm done.
Well, he said so much of things.
We are
Cues.
Sri Lankan, so for we will say Ayubovan. And then Rohan had told my parents that he wants a Malli to
Specifically
play.
a Malli.
Specifically a Malli. I think this will sound better if I sing in it.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
how it all
really?
started.
Yes, I guess it's because of the brothers' connection. I know exactly what he's going to do. Well, the thing
Like
is,
A-level failed twice or thrice, something like that. Go back to school.
my gosh, we discuss and we debate and we even
Disagree?
fight, we
Yeah.
disagree, we.
How do you manage that old man being Ishan? How on earth do you?
No, I don't know whether we'll be going on to 25.
Why do you say that? See, voices get mature as you get older. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. When you have 11th generation French heritage person on the talk show, you want to talk in French. But shamefully, our guest is with all this French heritage and the Lanerolle legacy they talk about, and all these things, the ancestors coming on a horse to the court of Raja Singh II and Kandy, they do not speak a word of French. Shameful. The second of the Lanerolle brothers, who was made to be born because the older one wanted a Malli to bowl while he batted. Rozanne, take over now. I'm done.
Well, he said so much of things. This French thing has to go, Kumar.
You're being haunted.
Haunted
both
about
of you.
it.
Because,
Yes.
But you're French. And you don't speak French.
But French, we have 11 generations, as you
It
mentioned.
should have got mature and better and better.
No, but the thing
So
is,
11
we are
generations, he's
we are
excused.
Sri Lankan, so for we will say Ayubovan.
You make me feel like a freak now.
Yes, you are. This is a typical Sri Lankan
Mais
show.
c'est
No?
pas vrai. Bonjour, quand même. Now talk in English. Go ahead.
So welcome to the show, and
Thank
it's nice
you.
to have you.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you very much for having
It's
me.
like we have half of the package,
Yes.
but I'm sure you'll make it worthwhile and complete.
Other half is spicier and hotter than this one. This is like blancmange. That's like, chilies and peppers put together.
So you didn't want to come to this world, or your parents didn't want to have you until your brother wanted you to be born.
Well, yes, it's actually a very interesting story. Recently, when we were speaking to a diplomat, this came up.
Julie.
And yeah, actually, yes. And what happened was, so I think if I go back, 1973, my parents were married. 1974, Rohan was born. And then 6 years went on, I guess, or 5. And then Rohan had told my parents that he wants a Malli to
Specifically a Malli.
specifically a Malli to play cricket. So, and lo and behold, I was born.
Thank
6
God
years
you were a Malli.
after, yes, and a Malli. So, but this Malli never batted, only bowled.
Receiving end always.
Yeah. And when it was a tennis ball or the rubber ball, it was quite okay. But then Rohan also went in to play cricket in school. And as a result, we were playing with a leather ball. So you can imagine, and when I bowl that and he hammers, and I really don't know whether it's coming in my direction, So, yeah, that was a unnerving feeling.
So he had planned this entire
He had
collaboration
planned it.
way
He had-
before.
Yes, yes. And so he always tells me sometimes, if not for me, you wouldn't have been born. So,
So you owe it to him.
technically, yes.
But if not for you, there would not be the Lanerolle Brothers.
Yeah,
be
that
It
is
was
also
Rozanne
true.
alone.
That is also
So you
true.
crept in there to steal his limelight.
Well, actually,
and well, now it
Rohan,
means
well, technically, Rohan was always performing before I did on my. I mean, he was performing alone, and actually coming back to that, one day he was going to release a solo album of pop singing, or the 60s, 70s music, and I still remember his vehicle number was JF2030 and I was JG 1010, and he came to my vehicle and he popped this CD and he said, Mali, listen to this and tell me what you think of it. So I listened to it and I was harmonizing while driving, and I called him and I said, look, I think will sound better if I sing on it as
That's
well.
how it all
really?
started.
Yes. So and then he's like, oh, okay. And so then we harmonize. Then we always used to practice in the vehicle. It was a good place to practice. So we'll play a track, and on the go we will practice. And so, I mean, we just happened to play this, and I harmonized, and he said, yeah, actually, it sounds good. And then that's how
It's a
all started.
coincidence.
Yes.
Wow, I never thought of that. I never thought it happened that way.
Correct.
But if I'm to ask you, if you have to collaborate with any other musician other than your brother, who would it be?
to be
Dead
sing or
alive?
to be accompanied by Rozanne. Which one?
Either.
To be accompanied by, yes, I would be very happy to be accompanied by a lot of people.
And the top favorite now being Soundry, David
Yes,
Rodrigo.
I mean, Soundary
And
is
Niranjan de
fabulous.
Silva,
Yes,
and even
Sound and
Sureka.
Niranjan, Sureka, Rohan de Silva from the US. And,
To sing?
Sorry?
Accompany.
To accompany you?
Yes, to accompany us. But to sing, no.
No?
Because
No,
Is it because you're arrogant
the reason
or
is
what?
no. The reason is because I think I guess it's because of the brothers' connection. I know exactly what he's going to do.
We can feel it when you all sing on stage.
Yeah. I mean, that's just actually what a lot of people have been saying is, this the way we
Chemistry that you have.
we have on stage. Look, I mean, even sometimes we ourselves are in a bit of surprise because there are times that because singing with Rohan is not easy.
Right.
It's quite a challenge because he will never
He's
do.
very impromptu, no?
He's very. So
Yeah.
he will not do what he did at a practice, for example. He'll
the
never do.
last show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
He'll
one
never
show,
do.
even if they all do the same show,
Correct. It will
It's
be very
different.
different. It will be very
Yeah.
different. So the thing is, you need to be able to read his mind and catch him, where what he's going to, because most of the time I'm doing a harmony note and he would change the note.
Seriously?
Sometimes, right? So then I need to change with him because if I stick to the harmony note which I practice, that wouldn't go because he's changing the note. So I have to be able to change with him. So in a way, and then I guess it's mannerisms. I honestly, to be honest, I really don't know how to answer this even.
Chemistry, I'm sure
But
it's
it's just that you just know most of the time, 99% of the time, okay, he may do this. So I'm always ready.
you're cautious all the time.
Always cautious.
So don't you think that is hindering your talent or?
Actually, yes. I think in a way, there have been times that we have finished shows and he's like, Mali, I can't believe you followed me on that.
No, so he's a surprise.
Yeah, he's also a surprise because, he'll do something totally different, and he will give
He
me
does
that.
it deliberately or he wants
No,
to put you in a spot?
No, I don't think so. But the thing is, I think he does it because one of the things that you need to in music, what we like to think is that we interpret things differently. And even when I conduct a choir, I always tell the choir, look, today I'm doing this, but tomorrow will be totally different. It depends on my emotion at the time. It depends on the emotion of the people. It depends on everything, So I think that's what we try to bring to the table. So we try to keep it fresh, not the same old thing, So yes, for example, if you hear us singing the prayer, say 100 times, 100
different
times
ways.
will be different.
I'm still trying to get used to your new hairstyle.
I love it. I love it.
I don't quite like it, but you've lost a lot of years. So that's a
Thank you.
compliment.
Well, the thing
like
is-
A-level failed twice or thrice, something like that. Go back to school. The brand, the Lanerolle,
It's a compliment.
backhanded.
Backhanded
backhanded
compliment.
The
Yeah.
Lanerolle Brothers brand is 16 years old this year. However, sustained this for 16 consecutive years with concerts in Sri Lanka and overseas. You had, I think, on the 10th anniversary, 10 in Sri Lanka and 10 concerts international. That's huge.
Thank you. Well, it has been, I would say, a roller coaster ride, but it has been a very humbling experience as well. I think we've sung from an audience of 50 to 50,000 in our 16 years. And whether it is 50 or 50,000, it's the same level of energy. It's the same effort you put in for a concert. And we've been blessed that way to be recognized, invited overseas many times, and sometimes being the only two dark people in the room. And there are some times, where you feel kind of overwhelmed. I guess in a nutshell, we've been through a lot during these 16 years. I mean, in terms of performing here, performing overseas, so many sponsors supporting us and partners.
You've had
part of the
sponsors
shows.
for the past 16 consecutive years, which your newspapers, for
Same
example.
sponsors, which is an achievement, I think.
It's not easy to have all these sponsors. Sometimes some people think it's a very easy thing, it's a walk in the park. Some people, in fact, actually think that we shouldn't mention sponsors and partners in our shows. But the type of
They
show
make it
that we
happen.
do, would not be possible without sponsors. Because, for example, the sit-down dinners, you can't give it at that price when you think of transforming a ballroom into a theater
Like your
with
Christmas
lights,
concert last year.
stage, sound, with the 5-course meal. So I hope.
And the ambience.
Correct. Yeah. So I hope and you have to create it from nothing. Overseas, there are theaters built for dinner theater. So it's not so difficult actually to put a dinner show on overseas, right? Because the entire thing is made. Here we start the previous night from scratch, and Rozanne and I are there when absolutely the entire ballroom is free and when the set is being made. So I think we've been very hands-on. We like to be hands-on so that we know exactly what we are getting and what. I must say we've been blessed with some amazing creative and stage and lights and sound sponsors who have been part of our brand. But it's and I think sponsorship is a two-way street. It's definitely a two-way street. It's not just something where you take.
Receive,
Yes. So
You
so
now
we've been
have
blessed.
a food sponsor also.
Yes.
The latest edition.
Yes. So
The food
for our
backstage is amazing. Those chicken bushes.
Yes,
all
Rodrigo's
that.
have been very kind to come on board.
And what was the
And,
line for them? Tantalizing flavors, flavoring.
Yes.
Moments?
Oh gosh,
With a line.
it skips my mind
most-
now.
You
But
should know.
Wait,
because
so the
you
more
are
sponsors they
yeah.
get, my script as the MC
Yes.
becomes fatter and fatter and fatter.
correct,
You've been
correct.
emceeing for how long?
Almost, I don't know, years and years and years.
What is that?
MCing your shows.
Yes, my Kumar has been a part of us. I don't know, from our 5th show or earlier.
Perhaps. Yes. So I'm the
yes.
officially, unofficially official MC to the brothers.
Yeah, I think I remember the 5th show. We had 5 compeers.
Right.
We had 5 different hairstyles.
Yes.
Yeah. And-
So that's another nice thing about you guys, because you want to do something different at every show.
Correct. Again, of keeping something very fresh and something different. So you have to, I think, in today's day and age, you have to bring a different element. but again, this is not a very easy thing because there are some people in the
So
audience.
do you all brainstorm, sit and
Yes,
discuss?
yeah,
and-
my gosh, we discuss and we debate and we even
Disagree.
fight, we
Yeah.
disagree, we in a very good way because we want. I mean, finally, a good result comes at the end. Rohan is very good at, for example, he will want to know why this and why not that.
Like you.
The thing is, because sometimes being creative, I would come up with some crazy stuff, but he would want to know, okay, just justify to me why this and why not that. So sometimes you don't know, but then you have to start thinking, and then you know, okay, why am I having this and not that? So I think it's a very good balance to have, because where he doesn't just agree with me on everything. He will ask me, okay, why this and why not that. So I think that's a good balance to have. We always look at different things, different ideas, bringing something new. But saying that, I was saying, like, sometimes it's not easy because there are some people, some audience members, they would want to hear a particular song at every show. Right, and these are
Yeah.
sometimes people who buy about 20 tickets at a show, and they've just given a blanket booking saying, look, I want any show you have, we are buying 20 tickets.
This has also been a complaint why you repeat the same song.
Yes.
In fact, I've asked you.
Yeah, some people have asked us. But the thing is, then we went back to our creative partners. We gave this issue and we looked at it. So, we've always thought of a 60-40, meaning a 60% which is what we've done before, a 40% which we haven't done. Because the thing is, we have to keep everybody happy.
Yes.
Right?
Especially the audience.
Yes, so I always tell people your 5 fingers are not the same size, it's different sizes. So one person may like something, other person may not like it. So we have to look at a balance. So for example, I always think of Olivia Newton-John's show in Sri Lanka. When Olivia Newton started the show, people were not so happy. She started with a known song, but then she went to a lot of unknown songs. And then she started singing the songs that the Sri Lankan audience is more familiar with. And then people enjoyed it. So it's like that. Sometimes people want to hear a particular song. And because in our case, because we also do the other genres, classical, Broadway, sacred,
Sinhala also.
Sinhala and all that. So it's sometimes, even though it's advertised as a pop show, there have been some people who will come from the classical background who would like, for example, to hear Old Man River at a pop show.
How do you manage that old man being Ishan? How on earth do you?
Well, I mean, since
have
you
two
asked this
voices.
question, yeah, I sing it lower than Paul Robeson, the original singer. And this is not that I'm being cocky or anything like that. I'm humble to sing this song, but I always think there's no better singer than him singing this song. But people ask me, even in India, I think once we were performing in India, in Delhi at the Kamani Auditorium. Rohan de Silva had flown in from New York and he was playing for us. And a gentleman put his hand up during the show, soon as I had finished the song, and he said, "Sir, I need to ask you a question."
What?
And I was taken aback because we are not used to that
Yeah.
culture. So I said, "Yes, certainly." And he said, "You're singing that lower 2 tones lower than
Oh.
The
the
original.
Paul Robeson, aren't you?" So I said that's a question for the companies because he's playing. He will be able to explain it better. So Rohan said, "Yes, it is lower." And so the reason that I sing it lower, honestly, is because I can't sing very high. So we transposed it low so that I can.
How do you reach that low note?
God's gift.
I have no idea.
you've got
but you know what? Something that my former master, Russell Bartholomew, the legend, he told me one day, Putha, in his style, Paul Robeson had an accident. and he sang this solo. What's the accident you
You
have
had.
had? Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I said, I don't know, sir.
So you have a singing voice and a talking voice.
Yes, a lot of people say, and in fact, Father Mark Bilimoria, former warden of St. Thomas's, used to say that I have three voices. Because when I used to take a Bible reading, it used to be another voice. So, so he used to say he has a singing voice, a speaking voice, and a reading voice.
How would you describe a perfect audience to you?
A perfect.
Audience.
Well, again, this is very debatable. But the thing is, any performer gets encouraged by the way the audience
Reacts.
responds, right? So
You want them to sing along, or you
it's
want-
nice when they, when they feel relaxed, when they do sing along. Sometimes it's nice. Let me put it like this. Once we were singing at a show at a Bishop's College auditorium, and there were some foreigners in the audience who got onto the aisles and started dancing while the performance was going on. And then they realized after about 2 songs that nobody else was joining them. They went quickly and sat down. After the show, they came and spoke to us and said, "Did we do anything wrong? Because nobody joined us in dancing." So we said, "Look, the thing is, our audience enjoys music in a bit of a different way. They are more a little reserved. They will sit and watch and enjoy. But the European audiences are quite used to dancing and this is so." Again, I feel because I know our audience, I have absolutely no problem with it. But I guess the audiences are different the way they react. But it's always nice when they do sing along, when they applaud it. As a performer, anybody feels relaxed.
Have you
So
ever had a rejected audience, like they didn't like your song? No.
Thankfully, not yet.
You're the 11th generation, are the brothers into 16 years now. When do we hope to see the 12th generation, Kalia and Johan, officially launching as the De Lanerolle cousins?
Well, I
both
don't
sing
know. I don't know whether they would want to do that. To be very honest, we've given them. Yeah,
It's a
A platform, basically.
we've given them the freedom to decide what they want to do. I think
Is it because their fathers are overpowering in your presence and your brand?
No,
That they
No,
think
I
twice?
don't think so, because when we grew up as kids even, something that our parents never told us is that we need to do this or we need to do that. They just gave us a free hand to do whatever we need to do. But I remember my father, and actually sometimes I used to wonder whether my parents were all right in the sense, because when some of my friends used to be pressurized to study, our parents didn't say ever to study.
So they recognized your talents.
But I'm talking even in terms of the O-levels and A-levels.
So that's why you have to repeat 4 times, no? The O-level.
Yeah, absolutely. Thankfully, I didn't have to repeat anything. but I always think now that if I did study a little bit more, I would have got. I mean, not that I didn't do well enough. I did well, but could have done better. But
I helped you in various
yeah, but
ways.
my parents didn't want to push us. The only thing, I think, my father has done this world invention, but he's technically not a qualified engineer. Like the qualified engineers around the world have been trying it from year 2000. And I remember him telling us when he used to work very hard as a man, and he used to, and I think those are the examples we saw growing up. And even my mother is like a perfectionist. But seeing dad working hard, and once I remember him, not once, on a few occasions, he used to say, if I was a qualified engineer, I wouldn't have to work so hard.
To prove.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So, but at the end of the day, now when I think about it, he's going to be 80 now. And at his age, he's doing inventions which others are still trying to do.
And winning awards internationally.
And so sometimes coming back to Kali and Johan, I think we don't want them to follow us in our footsteps or anything like that. If they want to, they're most welcome to do so, but if they don't want to, we welcome that as well, because they are their own individuals and they have their dreams, they have their what they would like to do, and I think it's part of encouraging them to do whatever they want to do.
So you're going to be 20 in 4 years from now. Grand celebration.
Yeah, I think there'll be a grand celebration.
25.
No, I don't know whether we'll be going on to 25.
Why do you say that? See, voices get mature as you get older. And you're like young now.
Yeah, but at some point, we would have to retire, and I would like to think, I'm sure Rohan will also agree that we like to retire when we are still
At the
good,
peak.
yeah,
At the peak.
and not when we are going down. So it's better to have a good memory and leave it at that.
So
Shanaz,
people wanting more.
People thankfully still have been wanting more, but I don't see ourselves going for 25. 20 would be the last.
Shanaz, your wife, is an excellent cook. Her food is divine. But you have a flat stomach there. How do you manage
Not
this?
really a flat stomach, but
But the muscles have been popping out recently.
yes,
He's a gymaholic.
no, I
So you've
actually
always been like a sporty character?
no. I actually, to be honest, in college, I used to only swim, if at all. But I was never a sportsman. Rohan was a sportsman. But latterly, I've been, going to the gym and trying to stay fit. Mostly, of course, it's good when you're looking good and all that, but mostly it's a healthy thing.
So, do you think that you look good?
Well, I think I look better than what I was.
Sonali must be pressurizing them. You better get into the jacket and look
The
nice.
jacket he's wearing is made entirely out of goni. Goni?
Yeah,
Aren't you
it's a-
scratching, Ishan?
No, it's actually I am so Sonali and I have been working very closely, and we've been doing a few experiments and all that, and so some things that we are trying to experiment with again,
Sustainability.
local sustainability and things like that. I think her last fashion show was also mainly on recycling and things like that. So we are doing some ideas and things like that. So let's hope things work.
What's been your worst moment on stage in these past 15 and a half years? The worst.
I think one of the worst situations was, I don't think anybody knows this, so we are going to let you in on a major incident
not
that
even I know
happened. No, I don't think you know this one. I'm not sure whether you know. Maybe you know about this. So it was at the BMICH, a sold out show, and I have this habit of checking the wardrobe and making sure everything is fine before we go. The previous day, everything was fine. Check the shoes, all was fine, and then. And for this particular show, we were going to walk in with Tina Turner's Simply the Best. And we were going to walk in from the audience. So the band was on stage. They've already started playing the introduction, right? So they just keep playing the start. And we are walking from the side, from the changing rooms, going to the front of the hall.
The entrance.
And my one shoe sole comes off, right? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so very quickly I saw one of the usherers and I said, son, what's your shoe size? He said, 8. I said, remove your shoes, right? So he removed it, and I while walking now, I'm putting it on, and I mean,
While singing.
while still approaching the entrance of the hall for us to enter, and Rohan's shoes are so nice and shiny.
Always proper.
Yeah, and now my shoe was also shiny, but now the sole is off, and this boy, obviously he wasn't wearing performing shoes, so now I'm thinking, oh God, this shoe looks quite dull. And so while it's still continuing, Rohan's wife, Naomi, was there. And she said, Mali, I have an idea. Do you want to hear it? I'm like, yes. And then said, shall we try and remove the other soul?
Oh.
The other shoe sole as well, right? So we removed it. And
Balanced
I
out.
came on stage without the sole.
Like a
On both
ballerina.
shoes. On both shoes. And Rohan says, Malik, don't make unnecessary moves. Just walk around, very lightly and and that's how we can. So it was a very unnerving.
So nobody
until-
knew
Nobody
except
knew.
you.
Nobody knew. And thankfully, so again at the BMICH, we have these crazy ideas that we do. We want that particular show, the entire floor was carpeted. Right. So I guess that was a good idea because I was on a carpeted floor, so there was no abrasion as such. So it worked.
So that's good.
Ishan, great pleasure talking to you.
I just
mean,
have one final question.
Yes.
Every time I see you all performing as a family on stage, I always wonder what family dinners are like. Do you all just break into song and...
Well, I think, most of the time people would have seen both our families seated together and
Just singing away.
we are always seen
laughter.
together and laughing and screaming and shouting and all that. So I think we've had that very close family. Like sometimes even on a Friday night we would be seen somewhere just seated together and just having a chat and some food to eat. So we've had that, and yes, it's a very relaxed thing. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of conversation.
I always imagined it like a musical, all of a sudden you start singing and then...
For sure, and even sometimes some of the songs that have come out from the family, the children would suggest a song for us, our wives would suggest a song for us. So that has also happened. So it's it's definitely a very family affair because each one has their roles. We technically would be the front of it, but I think our wives are handling parts of things. For example, the wardrobe, they are in charge of it. So we even have a WhatsApp group called Costumes.
The last question, hopefully, is you talk of family bonding, well and good, the six of you all together. But as two independent families, do you have us alone time and us alone time also?
Yes, for example, there'll be.
You're in
certain
each other's
trips-
hair, literally.
No, for certain trips we do on our own. Definitely, it's not that we are always together. But I think, we do have our individual times, but we do spend a lot of time together as well.
Lovely to see all of you all together.
Thank you, Ishan. Cheers to 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20.
And going up to
And-
25.
Yeah, you can go up.
I don't know. It's something Rohan and I will have
Rohan,
to
think about it, please. The
discuss,
brand
so-
is good. The brand is good.
Yes.
Voices will show. Thanks, Ishan.
Thank
for being on
you.
our
Thank
show.
you very much,
Lovely
Rozanne, and
having
thank
you,
you, Kumar. Lovely being on the show, and thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
for the food.
And the food. Thank you
Most
for all the
welcome.
food. I'm stuffed.
We need to thank Rodriguez for that. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank